She came the following day. This time she wore a fitted gown. I knew I was going to be in trouble if I don't seldom caution myself. I then told her to list out the most difficult topics she was facing. I put her through and she was quite intelligent and grasping. I was really impressed by her keen interest and understanding. After studying, she then looked at me and asked, "How is your girlfriend?" I laughed hysterically and assured her I had no girlfriend. "I don't believe you," she quizzed. "Timmy, I am not lying to you. Girls don't find me attractive. It's not that I am good looking. Even while in school, I never had the chance to date any girl I admired." I explained. She said, "Samuel, I know you are special. I saw it in your eyes the first time we met at my mom's restaurant. You are a special man." I was moved by what she said. No lady had ever said that thing to me before. I began to feel for her, and that was when I started to really care for her. She looked at my feet and shouted in consternation, "Ah, Samuel, look at your toenails. Don't you cut them?" I felt a bit embarrassed. I hadn't cut my toenails for a long time. I just wriggled out of the question by saying I lost my nail cutter and I hadn't gotten a new one. She then said, "Do you have a razor blade? Let me help you cut it." I resisted at first, but she insisted that she wasn't maladroit in the art of cutting nails. I got her the razor blade and she meticulously cut my toenails. She then took a napkin soaked with water and she cleaned my feet. No lady had shown me much compassion and care. Immediately I erased the lustful thoughts I had on her and I decided to do everything to make her succeed in her JAM exams. Our friendship grew and I found out how remarkable she was. I began to love Timmy, but I fought really hard not to reveal it to her. I respected her and I knew she was a good lady and I didn't want to start something I couldn't finish. I was aware we both had feelings for each other, but I was afraid it will lead to nowhere, and also I didn't want to make a promise I couldn't fulfill. It was a tough decision for me, because I had to fight every temptation that came my way. She was really improving in her preparations towards her examination. She was able to solve all the difficult problems she once faced, and I was proud she was making a headway. The JAM exams came and she smashed it. She scored 250 and I bought her a wristwatch for doing so good. It was Friday night around 9:30 p.m. I heard a knock on the door and it was Timmy. I was really surprised seeing her there. She flung a smile at me and svelte herself like an anaconda, revealing her sexy hips. "Why are you out this late?" I muttered. "I told my mom I was going for vigil," she replied. Indeed, a vigil would have saved me from all these. Why really didn't she go to a vigil? I invited her in and queried her as to why she lied to her mom. Embarrassed, she wiped the smile off her face and sat down on the bed without uttering a word. I understood she couldn't answer me. I made her noodles and she ate. We both lay down on the bed. I knew what I feared the most was revealing its head. I had just my night shorts on and I don't like sleeping with much clothes on. She then asked, "Do you have water in the bathroom? I want to shower." I then knew that night was going to be an intriguing one. I replied her low-toned, "Yes, there's water in the bathroom. You can use this towel, it's clean." She took the towel and went into the bathroom. I didn't have condoms with me and it was late to get one. After about 15 minutes she then came out from the bathroom wrapped in my towel. She then put off the light switch and lay beside me. She apparently didn't have any clothes on. Before I could say jack, my embarrassing erection had manifested. I am naturally huge down there. My rod is 6 inches in length, not to mention the size. No matter how hard I would try to hide it, it was always embarrassingly noticeable. She noticed already, but I vowed not to make the first move. About 10 minutes passed and no move was made. She then rested her head on my chest and put her left laps on my leg. And I thought to myself, if we spend the night like this, it won't be bad. I then put my left hand on her left shoulder and began to fondle her shoulder a bit. Next thing I felt was a grip on my dick. She said, "I have never held one before. You are the first and you will be the last. I love you, Samuel. I came to give you my body. Please be easy on me. I am still a virgin." I was put in a state of confusion. I wanted her and I didn't want her at the same time. I couldn't think of what to say to her than telling her I love her too. It escaped me quickly before my thoughts. I was letting my heart speak, not my head. I damned the consequences of tomorrow and embraced the passion of now. I had just less than a month to wrap up my service year, and I needed to hold on to something to linger in the archives of my memories. She began to kiss my chest, sending electronic signals to my hormones, unleashing the demon within me. She kept on kissing and using her lips to clench my tips. That was the last straw that broke the camel's back. I then took charge and laid her on her back. I stroked her melons tenderly and caressed it with ravishing interest. She moaned, embracing my head while at it. Although I had read about it in books, how did he flower a virgin? With no practical experience, I knew it was going to be a long night. While I was stroking her melons, my penis was fondling her labia. She was so wet with squishy stuff escaping the orifice, but I didn't mind. I knew I had to play with that place too. So I later decided. It was really a difficult task and I didn't know where the orifice was, not that I could put on the light and search for it. In the ultimate search for the G-spot, I mistakenly started forcing my way into her clitoris and she then said, "Ah, Samuel, that's not where it is, it's a bit below it." Embarrassed by the lecture, I decided to exude some masterly control of the situation, but then ignorance needed to be cured. "Raise your finger up a bit. No, a little bit down. Yes, there." She directed me to the spot, but it didn't seem like an opening. I then applied little pressure in putting the tip of my finger inside. She closed her eyes and said, "Be careful, it hurts a bit." The tip of my finger finally got in, so I started taking it in and out continuously. She then said, "Samuel, please, I want you on top of me. I need you to do the real thing." I refrained a bit, insisting that I didn't want to hurt her, but I didn't know what came over her. She was determined to consummate our friendship by having us jump each other's bones. "You deserve it, Samuel, I love you," she encouraged. I couldn't decline her, so I mounted on her and I said, "Timmy, you have to help out here. You have to use your hand to align it to the position." She then assisted me to it. My cap was just on the surface of her cookie. I started to apply little pressure on it. I really didn't want her to feel much pain. I couldn't push it in. I felt it was going to hurt. It was just so tight. While I used still applying pressure, she then tilted her waist towards me, causing an abrupt intrusion. She screamed and held me tight. There was a snap inside of her. I felt it. I knew it was better I remained inside of her. It was very obvious she was in extreme pain. I could tell by the grip she had in her embrace. She then said, "Continue, Samuel, continue."